What's up, guys? So today we're going to spend some time talking about the new machines from Cheyenne, the Sol Terra and the Sol Luna. I'm going to give you the specs of these machines. We're going to go through some pros and cons. I'm going to let you know all the information. And then, of course, I'm going to give you my opinion of them, whether or not they're worth your money or not, and what my overall impressions are of the machines. Okay, so let's jump right into it. And I want to first start by saying that I don't actually have the machine in my hands right now. And let me explain that. I'll get into it more in the later part of the video. But suffice to say that I spent lots of time. Luckily, there was a couple people that I could borrow these machines from and really put them through their paces. Put as much work into them as I do with any other of the reviews. If you're familiar with any of the other reviews I've done, I like to put kind of a minimum of 50 hours on a machine before I feel qualified to speak on it. And I did the same thing in this case, and I made a decision not to purchase the machines. And I'll get into that in a minute. So let's talk about the specs of the machine, okay? So these two machines, the Sol Terra and the Sol Luna, are angled machines from Cheyenne. They're kind of the newest offering from that company. They have a 3-watt brushless motor, the same as the Sol Nova. I suspect it's actually the exact same motor as the Sol Nova pen, if you're familiar with that machine. 85 grams is what they weigh, so they're still on the relatively light side. There is no grip included with them. The Sol Terra has a fixed 4mm stroke. The Sol Luna has a fixed 2.5mm stroke. They are identical machines, almost in every way. The face of the Sol Luna is rounded, I believe. The Sol Terra is flat. They have the same motor. They have the same everything, with exception of stroke length, okay? And the recommended voltage for them is anywhere between 5 volts and 12.6 volts. So they have a pretty wide running range, again, the same as the Sol Nova does, okay? So the big claim to fame on these machines is they have a responsive setting, which is what Cheyenne calls it. And basically, so what it is it's supposed to mimic give. So you give a little click on the back of the machine housing, and you get a machine that has give, like a coil or any of the other machines out there, the rotaries that produce give. So let's talk about cost, because that's a big one for a lot of people on this machine. These machines cost $960 Canadian. That works out to 735 bucks American. It's a lot of money. And they also don't come with a grip, as I mentioned. So what you're getting is just the machine body for that amount of money. And if you have a Cheyenne grip already, or you have another grip, maybe a disposable that you like, that's great. You can obviously use that. I have heard that the FK Irons click grips do not work. They won't mate up properly. I've heard that a couple times now. I personally didn't try that, but certainly I used my Cheyenne grip, and that works well. Cheyenne grips are available for $200 each. So, $960 plus $200 Canadian, or $150 American. If you were going to set up both of these machines with Cheyenne grips in Canadian dollars, $2,320 Canadian, 1,775 US dollars American. And having a different stroke length means that Cheyenne really wants you to buy both. And in terms of performance, that really will be the only difference, is just a stroke length. If you prefer a 4mm, if you prefer a 2.5mm. Okay, so let's talk about the pros and cons of this machine, these machines rather. And I want to talk about the good stuff, because there's lots to like with these machines. So they really are a great, solidly built machine. They run beautifully. They're very clean, crisp lining, solid hit, everything you'd expect from a Cheyenne machine, and the quality. There's versatility. If you're willing to purchase both, you have a machine that will again, you know, your 4mm stroke, lining, packing color, all that stuff. You know, I prefer the 4mm. I used it for everything from lining with a loose 18 round shader all the way down to a tight 3. I shaded everything from a bug pin 5 mag all the way up to a curved 15 mag. You know, and beautifully the whole way. I mean, it really is a nice soft hitting machine. And at the same time is also a machine that, you know, will really pack color without hesitation, you know, without any kind of adjustment, okay? So I like Cheyenne machines a lot. I like the function of them, and this one is no exception, okay? So what are the cons? The biggest one for me is cost, right? So arguably the most expensive tattoo machines on the market, certainly the most expensive mass-produced machine on the market. And what are you getting for that? Well, you're getting a Sol Nova in a angled machine. So it's the same motor that many of us already have in a Sol Nova. So we already know what the function is going to be like, but we don't have the convenience of a pen. We don't have the balance of a pen, and we don't have the cost effectiveness of a pen. Now I, along with a lot of other people, piston moaned about the cost of the Sol Nova. It was outrageously expensive. I think these machines are, for someone that doesn't have a grip, are even more expensive, because obviously you've got to come up with a grip for yourself, and in some cases 2 grips. You know, a lot of other companies are kind of trusting their clients, trusting the tattoo artists that are using their products to change out a cam. And for some reason, Cheyenne hasn't given us that option. Now, I'm not sure. It could be something, you know, technical, where opening up that machine, you know, would be too complex, or would be, you know, disruptive to function, or something along those lines. Or it could be that as a company, they've decided that they can make more money by selling us 2 machines at a very high price that essentially do the same thing with just a smaller stroke length. I think that we're all pretty used to changing out a cam, and we've all become pretty comfortable with it. And if you haven't, it's really simple. You open up the machine, you change the cam, you continue to work. You know, these are things that kind of companies like Inkjecta, Bishop, you know, even FK Irons, they've all been doing for years and years. So it wouldn't be revolutionary to give us a cam option within the same machine. So, you know, one of the other biggest cons for me is, you know, Cheyenne really touted the reactive mode. If you listen to some of the 50 pro team members that they have, you can hear all about how it's the most revolutionary, amazing, will change the way you tattoo. But for a dose of reality, it absolutely does nothing. I tested it on many different areas with many different techniques. As anybody who's checked out my work knows, I do kind of at very least what I post online is you know, a lot of color realism, a lot of black and gray realism. I pack color, I smooth shade. I do kind of all the things that would be required of a rotary tattoo machine. I do before I give a review. I tried these machines in different areas of the body: spongy areas, bony areas, smooth skin, old skin. There's no difference. Maybe better men than me or women than me are able to use this machine and really feel the difference. Wow, it's really soft, it's really backing off. It's nothing. It sounds a little different, doesn't feel any different. It still packs ink just the same. It doesn't give you any smoother shading. It doesn't give you any kind of more options, in my opinion. And that, again, you know, everybody's hands are different. That could be my hands. It could be, you know, I'm a relatively gentle tattooer, so, you know, it could be just by virtue of the way I tattoo, I don't notice a difference. Or it could be that the reactive mode isn't really any different than steady mode. But Cheyenne had to put something revolutionary out, or what they claim is revolutionary out, to compete after the Sol Nova. I don't want to say flopped, but a lot of people weren't happy about that machine. Now let me just kind of temper that with reactive mode or not, they're fantastic machines. They really are good. So I wouldn't let that alone be the decision for whether or not you want to purchase this machine or not. You could look at it as a con if you want as well, but I would say kind of an estimated run life of 800 to 1,000 hours. And I'm basing that off of, what the Sol Nova will do. It's the same motor. Reactive mode may change that a little bit. It may shorten the life a little bit. It may be taxing the motor a little bit. Again, not knowing function, it may tax the motor a little bit to have that kind of give, or that attempt at simulated give rather. So I would feel pretty confident that somewhere between 800 and 1,000 hours is what you'll get out of the machine, or the machines. If you're buying two, $2,300 to use the machines for essentially 2,000 hours. So it's not crazy when you put it that way, but it's still not reliability of a Hawk pen, or even a Hawk or a Thunder. So it could be a con, depending on how you view it. So what are my conclusions? They're really good machines, but you could draw your own conclusions by the fact that I didn't buy them. I have a few Hawk pens. I have a Sol Nova. I really got to use these machines a lot, and I decided that they were not really worth it for me. I found I don't like an angled machine as much as I like a pen. I think the convenience of a pen is superior. I think that at this point, with this reactive mode, we can see the future of pens with Cheyenne. I can see in the next few years a probably $1,200 pen coming out that has reactive mode, that'll have an obscure name that we're all going to be clamoring for and buying. Reactive mode doesn't hurt the function, so I think it's a good thing. If you are the type of person that has a Hawk now and you're looking to upgrade, or you have another angled machine from Cheyenne and you're looking to upgrade, this is a perfect option for you. You've already got a grip set up, you've already got everything. You're going to get a superior machine to the earlier iterations of the Cheyenne machines. But if you're a person that uses the Sol Nova now, or uses a Hawk pen now, I will tell you that function is not that much different. You're going to pay a lot of money to set this machine up and use this machine, and you're not going to get something that functions, that much better, right? And the cost is unbelievable, right? So to put it in perspective, a Hawk nowadays costs $420, right? So that's whatever, $320 American. This machine is $960. Are we getting that much more technology? Are we getting that much more reliability? Are we getting that much more kind of robustness for that huge of a jump in investment? I don't think so. Reactive mode is, I really don't care what anybody has to say about it. It is nothing. It's not a game changer. It's not something that will change the way that you tattoo or the way that your clients heal or any of that stuff. At the end of the day, you and I, the people who are holding the machines, are responsible for how well your clients heal, how soft their tattoos look, and all that stuff. I can shade just as soft with an old coil machine as I can with state-of-the-art rotary. That's due to your hand. That's not due to trickery that the machine is doing. And if you can't shade smooth, or you can't pack color properly, there's a solid chance that it's on you and it's not on the machine. So I think we would all be further ahead if we stopped thinking that machines were going to change our careers. The machines are there to make our lives easier. When we don't have to fiddle with them, when they work consistently every day, these things are important to making sure that our tattoos are, well done and healing well and all those things. But artists are responsible for how the machines are used ultimately. So I think that's everything that I wanted to say about this machine or these machines. I know it's unorthodox to do a review of a machine when I'm not holding the machine. I don't have the machine in hand. But just like you guys, anybody who's watching this, almost anybody who's watching this is in the same position as me. We have to make a decision whether we want to spend our hard-earned dollars on a machine with a company, whether that machine is going to make our lives easier, whether we're going to tattoo really well with that machine, all those kind of things. That's why we're here. That's why I started this channel. And if I just bought every single machine, it wouldn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to the channel that I'm trying to do, to the videos that I'm trying to put out. And I think this machine is a perfect example of something that in my case, which I know that there's a lot of you out there that are in the same boat as me, where you've got a setup that works, you like trying different stuff, these machines, it's outrageously expensive to try something out, it's outrageously expensive to just take a chance on and go, well, maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. It'll end up on Tag Gear for Sale or, one of the other secondary markets. And, the truth is you already see a lot of them on there because I think there's a lot of people that expected more from the machines and are kind of getting disappointed because they really are getting the same thing. Function is maybe as good as it's going to be. If you can't tattoo well with a Hawk pen, then there's a solid chance you're not going to tattoo well with a Sol Nova or a Sol Terra or a Sol Luna or any other machine. That's everything that I wanted to say on these machines. There's a couple more reviews coming up that I really want to address. Bishop has come out with the wand. I'm really looking forward to working with that one. I hope you guys want to see it as much as I want to work with that machine. I really want to try out the Lithuanian Irons Chronos pen. I've heard really good stuff about that. I'd love to hear what you guys want to see in the comments section. Please keep in mind that I don't review rip-off companies, Chinese-made machines. I will not do a review of an FK Irons rip-off that is being made in China. And if you don't understand why, then you're probably in the wrong career. We don't tolerate other tattoo artists ripping off intellectual property from us. Why would we tolerate it when it's machine builders ripping off intellectual property from the guys that do the real R&D, like FK Irons, like Bishop, like Cheyenne? So I stick to kind of the brands that are doing the real work on these machines, and so if I don't reply to you asking me to try something out, that's probably why. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comment section. I do my best to answer as many as I can. I don't answer DMs on Instagram. If you want to see my work on Instagram, I think my name is going to be changing again. I'm in the process of opening a new shop, but I will put the link to that new shop Instagram and you'll be able to find my work through there. My Instagram name currently is at Intrepid Tattoo @Anthony. My shop name, which is the one that you'd be better off searching, is Epitaph Tattoo, just at Epitaph Tattoo. And so you can see links to my work there. If you think I'm full of crap or not with my opinions, you can see some of the work that I've done with these machines as well. Yeah, I think that covers everything. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate taking the time to check out my videos. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.